Hey guys, SeanB, and today I want to talk to you guys about the S rank that you are going to get for free when you start punishing Grey Raven. They'll give you like a selector ticket and you have 5 different options. There will be Liv, Karenina, Nanami, Lee, and Kamui. There's no RNG with it, you just get it immediately. Before I go into each character, there are some quick information that you should know. There are 3 main type of characters in the game, mainly support, attacker, and tank. Support will usually heal, have buff, debuff. Attacker is a damage dealer mostly, and attacker is the character that you're going to use the most when you play the game. You go around and do damage, and tank usually provide debuff, especially lowering the resistance to a certain element. So Nanami is a fire character. She can lower the enemy fire resistance, which means your fire elemental damage will be increased. Lee is an attacker, so raw damage output, and Kamui is a dark tank, so he can lower enemy dark resistance. So it will really help if you have a dark damage dealer in the team to pair with Kamui, or if you use Kamui to be the damage dealer for whatever reason you want to do it. Hey, it's fine too. Then he will lower the enemy dark resistance for his own dark damage. So that's how you want to look at the category of these characters. Each character has a promo video that you can see right here that will display their gameplay style. So there'll be range attack like Liv, who are using 2 flying cannon next to her, so most of the time you will shoot the enemy from afar. You don't have to get too close to them, because when you go close to the enemy, there's a lot of information like just flashing in front of your eyes when you're trying to slash them with sword. So if you want an easier playtime, you might want to pick up a ranged character. Karenina is the opposite. She carries a big weapon, so she can attack in closer range. So the playstyle can greatly affect the way you choose your first S rank, because you'll be using that unit a lot. And if you want to play close combat, just go in and slash the enemy, then you want to pick up a character that fights in close combat. But Liv was a support unit. Lee is an actual gunfight character where it's really satisfying to shoot the enemy from afar and a very cool gunplay. Look at this, it looks so freaking amazing. And you shoot enemy from afar, so you run like circle around them and start shooting. So if this is the gameplay that you like, you go with Lee. And even the great sword combat of Kamui doesn't feel very slow but very dynamic and fast, so it can be satisfying to just throw around a big weapon as well. Hey, not bad at all. So those were the general information that might affect your choice for the unit. And if you pick like a support or tank unit, you might not use it as often as you want, because most of the time you'll be using your main attacker and the support unit will come in situationally. But in this game, you can actually just use your support character or your tank character to be the main damage unit. Like it doesn't really matter, honestly. Like, not because Liv is a support character that you cannot use her to shoot people. Hey, you do you. It's all good as well. Now let's go to every single character. And first, being Liv. So I'll leave the link to this website down below for the Persian Grey Raven wiki, where you can read their skill, you can read their passive, you can read the gear suggestion, and you can make a more informed decisions. So Liv is a support character. If you use her as a support, which means you will most of the time trigger her QTE. A QTE skill is a skill where you combine 3 orbs and then you can call her into combat and she'll perform a skill and then she'll leave. Which means her main use will be healing the teammates and providing them with a shield, but only lasts for 2 seconds. So the shield is not the most amazing thing. It's really short, and when you are attacking the enemy, they are getting pushed back. They are not attacking you back. So the shield might not be even noticeable at all. The healing is not bad, but the problem with Liv is the game also provides you with a B tier character that provides healing. So if you need a healer, the game actually gives you a decent healer at the start. You might not even need Liv at all. But if you want to play with Liv as the main character, she can slow enemy down, she can gather enemy together so that she can do more damage, or your other teammate can do more damage. So she's not bad, and her passive skill allow her to heal herself, which is amazing. So there might be some bosses that are tough and you can't really play well against them. They kill your entire team and Liv is the last one standing. Then you can kind of cheese the boss and just keep shooting the balls from afar and self-heal with the Liv passive. Also, she looks really adorable and she have great cosmetic. Okay, spoiler alert, yeah, spoiler alert. So I picked Liv in the JP server that I'm playing right now because she looks cute. I mean, I think that's enough reason, right? But for my trial experience, I only use free-to-play character to really understand how the game works and play as an underdog. And the B-Liv, the B tier character, the B tier healer that you get at the start of the game, she does an amazing job in healing. I don't really feel the need to use an S rank healer for any reason unless you want to play with her, and she looks adorable. Also, she has a very cool cosmetic, and oh my god, that just that looks so cool. And look at this adorable swimsuit, and holy moly, that just looks so clean. Yeah, that looks so freaking good. So you like the cosmetic, you like how the unit looks, and you want to play an easy gameplay style, then hey, you might want to go with Liv and just play around with her. She might be fun. So next up is Karenina, the fire attacker. To pick a fire attacker and use her to her maximum potential, you will need a fire tank. So you probably will need Nanami as well, but you can only choose one. So one of the common strategy is you try to get Nanami in the beginner banner or Karenina, and then you pick the other one from the S rank selector. So picking one will probably require you to have the other to maximize their potential. So Karenina also looks really adorable. She is a damage dealer, which means you will use her most of the time. Her combat mechanic is fun. She's look very unique. She's not just holding a katana and slash, but she's holding like a big ass cannon, just whack people with that thing. And she also has some sort of range capability in her gameplay style as well. So not a bad choice, but you might have to pick up Nanami from the beginner banner as well. So it's not that easy to get one specific character, just saying. It's not that easy. So you might not want to pick up them early into the game, just saying. Nanami QT skills for her to appear and do damage to all surrounding enemies and lower their fire resistance by 5 to 10% for 6 seconds. And then you can potentially trigger Karenina passive, allow her to do crazy fire damage, and the two together are just really good. But once again, you gotta try to get them together, and it's not that easy. But as a culture individual, we need to take a look at the cosmetic as well. And hey, spoiler alert, you might want to see future content, but for those who are looking into the future and want to see if she's worth devoting your life into, they both look really cool. Like this girl, she has fucking wheels for her feet. This girl take foot fetish to a next level, okay? Like bro. Oh my god, she got some cool cosmetic. Really cool cosmetic. What about Nanami? Let's take a look at Nanami cosmetic. Nanami cosmetic doesn't look as crazy good, but oh my god, still solid. Comparing to Liv cosmetic, I think this is not as good, but depending on your taste, it might be good. So if you want to get Karenina and Nanami and want to really go and maximize the potential, once again, trying to get one of them in the beginner banner and get the other one from the S rank selector. Next, we have the highly recommended attacker Lee. This game actually have a decent amount of dudes in the game that looks really good and fun to play with, and not just overselling fan service, which I can really appreciate even though I'm a dude. If you pick Lee, you will be using him mostly as well because he's an attacker and he can do some amazing damage. He shoots from afar, so the gameplay can be both satisfying and a bit easier to manage because you don't have to get too close to the enemy. But look at that. Man is not scared to get close and start shooting the enemy. But if you choose Lee as your main attacker, you'll be using him for a month or two, and the game will have a next patch that will release a certain unit called Lucia Crimson Abyss, or as the community call her, Alpha. and she can do some insane damage. Like, I watched some of her gameplay from China server, and she melt bosses like they are butter. Like, it's insane. She does some amazing damage, and she's really satisfying to play with, and she has one of the best cosmetic in the game as well. It's just, she's too good. Yeah, so you'll be ditching Lee soon enough to try and pick her up and use her as your main attacker. So if you're going with Lee, be ready to be faithful to Lee and not ditch him soon, okay? He can be very satisfying to play with. The gunplay in this game is solid. So he's not that bad, but Alpha just completely dominate the player base interest. Poorly, man. And lastly, we have the Dark Tank Kamui. So Dark Tank can lower dark resistance and you can do more dark damage. But the problem is, when you start the game, there's no dark damage dealer. The dark damage dealer get released later into the game, so you pick this guy, you won't be utilizing his full potential. But because there's limited dark unit, when you pick up the dark damage dealer later on in the game, you will need the dark tank. So he's like a rare resources and like a hidden gem at the start of the game that if you pick him, you won't be enjoying his full potential immediately. But later on, when you have to deal with the dark dungeon, then you need the dark duo, and you don't have dark Kamui, then you will be losing out in terms of the score leaderboard. But if you don't really care about that, then you don't have to really care about him. So Kamui right here, QT skill will do damage and decrease the target dark resistance. So you definitely can see the similarity between him and Nanami. Nanami as a fire tank will decrease enemy fire resistance, and Kamui as a dark tank will decrease enemy dark resistance. But then the dark damage in the game Watanabe doesn't appear in the game soon enough for you to appreciate dark tank Kamui. For meta-slave veteran player, they will recommend you to get dark Kamui, and then you pair him with the dark damage dealer Watanabe later on in the game. That is if you want to go with the meta-slave option. There's nothing wrong with preparing yourself for the meta later on, but you don't have to follow the meta. Because in this game, I think the most important thing is you enjoy yourself. It is a PvE game, so you don't really lose out anything. If you go for a unit that is not optimal, you can pick whatever you want. You can pair a fire tank with a physical damage dealer like Lee. Doesn't really matter. Just because you like the animation of Lee and you like the animation of Nanami, you play them together, it is all good. Like, nobody's gonna say shit and you're not gonna lose out on anything whatsoever. The biggest advice for the S-Rank Selector that I hope you can follow is you don't get the unit immediately. You should wait until you finish your beginner banner pity, get the S-Rank character from there, and then pick up an S-Rank character from the Selector. There are two situations that's gonna happen. You want to get two S-Rank character, which might be the fire duo, or you want to dupe for your S-Rank character so you can rank them up, they become better, stronger. In this game, dupe will allow you to rank up an S-Rank character to triple S, and it does take a number of dupes for S-Rank characters to become triple S. But that is for like the really try hard, they want to beat everything, with a high score kind of player. If you don't really care, you want variety, then you want to finish the beginner banner, which has a pity at 40 summon. 40 summon is not a lot. You can get 40 summon by day 3 or day 4, and then you finish getting the S-Rank character from the beginner banner, which is right here, and then you choose your S-Rank from the S-Rank Selector. So you have two S-Rank characters to play with, and they can be the fire duo, they can be Lee plus Liv. It is 100% fine if you don't choose the correct or meta character. And once again, I play this game on JP server with free-to-play character only to see if I'm gonna get hard stuck anywhere. And so far, the only thing that's stopping me from playing more is my account level. I literally cannot unlock certain content because my account level is not high enough. And I can do everything else with ease. All the farming dungeons I can do according to my account level, all the extra content, they can be done with ease, and they are really fun to play even with the free-to-play character because the combat mechanic of the free-to-play character are already good enough. For now, one of my favorite characters to look at is Urza Scarlet or Vera in the game, and she just looks adorable. Like, damn, she looks really good. And I want to try to play with her, the A-rank version of Karenina. And there's one unique character here that I haven't tried out yet, which is Bianca. I think that's her name. And she uses a bow. And that is also fun to play with as well. And this big personality looking girl is using a scythe that is really cool as well. So there are a lot of things to explore and play with in this game. I really wish we have more stamina or more content to play with, because there's so much thing to play with. It's really fun. So to sum everything up, you want a healer, a self-sustained damage dealer, you go with Liv. You want the fire duo, good luck trying to get the fire duo because they look adorable. You want to play Apex Legend in this game, you can go with Lee. But a lot of people go with Alpha when she gets released in the game as their main attacker, so Lee's gonna be a sideline, nice guy situation getting forgotten. And if you want to be a meta for the future, you go with Kamui, okay? Anyway, that's it for Punishing Grey Raven today. Hope you guys will enjoy the game when it launch. I can't wait to play it. Such an amazing game. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!